Good evening, beautiful people of the You Create the Dream page, and welcome to Awake in the Dream. This is our fortnightly call. Do say hi as you come on. Let me make sure that I am appearing live for you guys. Yes, I am. Good evening, everybody. I hope you are fabulous. I hope you had an amazing weekend. In fact, I hope you had an amazing fortnight. Let's see. Okay. Do say hi as you come on. Let me know that you're here because, as usual, I do love to acknowledge your beautiful presence. How was your weekend? Okay, I'm getting some love hearts. We need a comment to come through, and that way I know if I can actually see the comments on the computer. Hello, Valerie. Good evening, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Okay, we are on the phone for comments. Good evening, beautiful Libby. How are you? I hope you all had an amazing, amazing weekend. So, I have been very much guided today to talk about change and to talk about why it's really hard for many people to change. I did do a very short video a few days ago and that did get a bit of traction. I also received a lot of messages, so I will be talking about change this evening. Also, what I'm going to be talking about with regards to change is the fact that everything that you have been told about change is wrong. So that is why, despite all the effort, despite the vision boards, despite the affirmations, the pushing, the striving, you still find yourself looping through to the same old patterns. That's why you've done the courses, you've read the books, you've perhaps changed the scenery, switched things around in your daily life, and yet that deep internal shift it still feels as though it's way out of reach because there's a part of you that keeps getting pulled back to old ways. Now, not only do we store stuff in our muscle memory, so it takes time to detox that out of our system, but there are a whole lot of other things at play. You have been taught to change from the outside in. You've been told, change your environment, change your habits, change the things that you do on the outside, go and learn new skills. But how long did any of those shifts and changes really last? How long did you feel truly inspired for before you were pulled, let's say, pulled right back into the gravity of your old patterns? The reason is simple. True transformation doesn't happen from the outside in. It happens from the inside out. It's more than willpower. You don't need willpower. You don't need an identity shift. You don't need to hustle harder, to work harder. You need to become the person who effortlessly aligns with the life that you desire. That is where true change happens. Because when you shift your identity, everything beneath it aligns. For as long as you say, I'm a smoker, you'll be a smoker. But to say I am no longer a smoker is a shift in identity. To say that I haven't smoked in X amount of days is still saying you're a smoker that hasn't smoked in X amount of days. So can you see what we're doing there? The identity shift is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Hey Tracy, how are you, sweetheart? Lovely to see you. So the identity shift is what is going to assist you in realigning. Why? Because it realigns your beliefs. Your beliefs change when your identity changes. When you shift your identity, new habits evolve because you're not the person that you used to be. So you've changed your identity, you've changed what follows the I am. And with that, the belief about yourself changes. So therefore, the way you behave changes, which means you're now changing your habits naturally. Your decisions transform because you're making decisions from that new version of yourself, the new, more empowered version of yourself. And what happens is your reality begins to reflect the truest version of you. Hoping that makes sense. So let me ask you something. Are you choosing to stay the same or are you choosing change? If so, who are you becoming? Because it's all good and well for us to say, well, no, I really want things to be different. Okay, so who are you becoming? I don't know, I just want things to be different. But how do things become different? Because change requires change. If you don't change, nothing changes. So then the real question is, if you truly want change, who are you becoming? So I want you to think about that for a little bit. Who are you becoming? Because the thing is, your life will always rise or fall to the level of the identity you hold. Your life will always rise or fall to the identity that you hold. So what follows the I am for you? Are you rising or are you falling? Is what follows the I am negative for you? You need to change it to a positive. Your life will always, 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 always rise or fall to the level of the identity that you hold. So surface change, let's call it, creating great change, is an illusion. That surface stuff doesn't change much at all. You can change your job. In fact, you can try to outrun yourself, but wherever you go, you get there and hello, you are there too. You can't outrun yourself. Therefore, you cannot outrun your identity. You can move to a new job. You could even stay in the same building, in the same company, and have a new job title. So your job title might change. The money, perhaps you're getting paid more, that might change. But without an identity shift, nothing really changes for you. So to change at that surface level and expect great change is an illusion. You change your job, you change your house, you change your diet, you change your relationship. But if you haven't changed what really matters, if you haven't changed the internal identity that drives those patterns, then your reality is always going to pull you into the alignment or into alignment with who you were, not who you're becoming. And why does that happen? Because your subconscious mind, your internal autopilot, it doesn't follow your desires, it follows your self-image. It literally follows your identity. You might want abundance, but if you identify as someone who never has enough, then you're going to naturally sabotage it. You might crave love, but if you see yourself as unworthy, then you're always going to repel it. You'll sabotage yourself there too. You might dream of incredible success, but if you believe that you're not capable of that, then you yourself are going to keep holding yourself back with the limitations of the mind. So what do? We have to change in the very depths of ourselves. We have to change the source code. So working on your identity is the real secret to creating massive change. When you shift your identity, you are changing the internal compass that determines every belief. You are shifting the internal compass that determines every decision and every emotion that you carry. And the fastest way to do that is to align your identity with your highest purpose. Why? Because purpose activates power. There's nothing more motivating than that. Purpose gives context to your pain. Purpose transforms your past into fuel for the future. Purpose motivates you, it drives you. So when you shift your identity into the version of you that is already living in alignment with your purpose, then you no longer need to motivate yourself because it just happens naturally. You no longer seek anybody else's approval because you feel damn good about yourself and what you're doing. You no longer delay or doubt, you simply become, and you don't ever, ever even consider letting anybody ever, ever, ever dim your light. Because now you believe in yourself, you value yourself, you know what you're worth. So I want you all to take a moment to reflect on these questions, or better still, journal on them. Let's see. Who have I been identifying as? So this is for the last little while and now. Who have I been identifying as? What internal story or stories have I allowed to run the show? What's the noise in the background? Is it, I'm not good enough? What if it doesn't work? I just desperately need this to work. What is going on? Hello, beautiful Kerry. How are you? Gosh, hello, beautiful. How are you? Lovely to see you here. Where was I? The internal story. What are the internal stories that you have allowed? What's the noise going on in the background? Are you fearful of things not working? Are you afraid of the unknown? Are you afraid of change? So who have I been identifying as? And what internal stories have I allowed to run the show? So I want you to journal on those. And another one, what identity must I now claim so as to step fully into my future? What identity must I now claim so I can step fully into my future? I used to have a story that involved me not valuing myself. And it was a huge one that held me back, feeling unworthy, undeserving, not valuing myself and my incredible gifts. And for as long as I did that, I continued to struggle. For as long as I believed that story, struggle was my partner in crime, let's say. I was a single mum. I was trying to make ends meet. I'd say yes when I really wanted to say no. I'd be seeing clients at all sorts of crazy hours. I'd have somebody cry during a session and then I'd say to them, oh, that's okay, it was just a gift, because somebody had an amazing emotional release. They would cry and then I would just, I'd think that they didn't have to pay me. Not because I thought the crying was bad, but my heart went out to them. It's like, oh, I couldn't take money from you. Yet I was a struggling single mum. And what was really going on there? Because everything that we do does serve us, and we have to understand that. So whilst, yes, I was giving from my heart, what was the story that was really going on behind that? And for me, it was a realization that I wasn't valuing myself. I had trouble saying that costs X amount. If somebody said, oh, that's X amount, and handed me the money, there's no problem. But the fact, for me to actually say that costs was extraordinarily difficult. I couldn't do it. So, and it didn't matter how, I would see that people would have the most incredible results. They would have absolutely incredible results. But I couldn't bring myself to say that cost. And interestingly, I then started using your life-changing investment is across my websites, and I believe it's still there. So for me personally, it was when a friend said to me that I needed to look at myself as a specialist that everything changed. He said to me, you've got to look at yourself as a specialist. Nobody calls a specialist and gets to speak to the specialist, they speak to a receptionist. When they speak to the receptionist, they don't ever ask for the specialist to stay back and see them after hours or on weekends. The receptionist says what's next available, and the person either takes it or they don't. But see yourself as a specialist, Joanne. That was the advice I was given. So I did that. And it really landed for me. And in that moment, when I honestly recognized the gifts I brought to the world, when I chose to value myself, absolutely everything changed. So in that moment, what was it that I changed? I wasn't doing anything any differently, but something inside of me changed. What changed was my identity. I changed my identity. And I promise you, the very next day, everything changed. I changed my identity. I changed how I saw myself. I valued myself. And then in that moment, literally in that moment, the world valued me. The world valued me. So look at the way look what's happening in the world around you. How is it being reflected at you? What's the gift in it for you? Is there something for you to learn in the experience that's going on for you? How can you shift your identity so that it works in your favor? I think there's something else coming through that I want to say around that, but it's just not coming through clearly. Here it is. What gets in the way of you up-leveling your identity? What gets in the way of you up-leveling your identity? Because honestly and truly, the biggest block is not ever going to be the world outside of you. The biggest block is the subconscious programming within you. It's those deep-rooted, or the deep-rooted fear, the fear of not being good enough. It's that internal voice that whispers, who do you think you are? What are you doing? It's that story that you inherited that says change is hard. You should be afraid of change. Better the devil you know. You always mess up. It's safer to stay small, stay the same. Don't take too many risks. That's silly. But here's the truth. Those thoughts, they're not truth. They're programs, and programs can be rewritten. And that's why I created CTC, the 2-hour life transforming combined therapy cocktail, because I knew people were running on old programs. That's all it was, old programs, but programs can be rewritten. But the thing is, you can't affirm your way out of your subconscious blocks. You need to release them. You need to clear them from the root cause. And that's what we do in the therapy. You need to go in deep so as to set yourself free. And we are like onions, there are layers. But when you do, when you take that inward journey, when you choose to change at an identity level, you stop reacting to life and instead you start creating life. You start creating life without those limiting thoughts and things that were holding you back in the past. Everything changes. But you have to want that for yourself. You have to want more for yourself. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take you on a little bit of a journey for a moment, a little journey to align you to that version of you, the version of you that you're born to be. Let's call it some sort of deep, energetic reset and remembrance of who you are. So I'd like you to start by making yourself nice and comfortable. Gently closing your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And again, a deep breath in and exhale. And as you exhale, let go of everything that's weighing you down, the stresses, the stories, the worries, the concerns, all of it. And again, a deep breath in and exhale, setting yourself free and just being here. And continue breathing deeply, rhythmically. And begin to feel a soft wave of divine light pouring down from above over you, through you. It's washing over your crown, your shoulders, your spine, your legs, your feet, your entire body is touched by this beautiful light. Feel it melting away all the tension. That's right. Feel it dissolving old energy, preparing you for sacred remembrance. So letting all those old thoughts, patterns, and beliefs melt away so that you can see truth. That's right. And now imagine yourself standing at the entrance of a divine sacred temple. It's your temple. It's beautiful, it's perfectly decorated. The temple of you in truth. You step inside, the atmosphere shifts. The air in here, it feels alive with energy. It feels somehow vibrant, perhaps electric, magical. That's right, just feel the energy of this space. And as you now begin to walk further in, you notice a radiant mirror at the center of this temple. You step slowly toward it, and what you see is not your reflection as you know it, but you see the greatest version of you. The you who has shed the weight of expectation. The you who walks in purpose, power, clarity, and truth. In that reflection, you see the you who is aligned with her highest self, free of the stories, free of the past conditioning, free of the noise. Notice how she stands. Notice how she breathes. Notice the energy that she radiates. And now breathe that version of you in, breathe it in. Let that version become the you in the here and now, because this is you. This was you waiting for you to show up, waiting for you to shift your identity, waiting for you to be strong enough to let go of the past programs and stories, waiting for you to choose to shine bright, waiting for you to no longer dim your light, but to shine bright. That's right. Breathe deep. Breathe deep. As this becomes the version of you that you are now. You and your highest self, you shining bright. You simply remembering who you are in your power. That's right. Now place a hand on your heart. Breathe in love, breathe in compassion, and say thank you. I don't know how, I don't need to know how or when, but thank you. I don't need to know how the greatest version of me unfolds, but I know that this is me. I don't need to know what the entire path looks like, but I know that I desire to take the next step, so I do so. I commit myself to doing that, to taking the next step. I know I am born for more. Thank you. Breathe in that feeling, feeling yourself expanding, feeling yourself becoming more. Feel that energy within you and around you. The vibration that realigns everything. This right here, right now, this is the sacred moment of integration. That's right. And breathing deeply, rhythmically. Receive the light. Release the old. Receive and anchor in the new you as you inhale, and release the remnants of the old as you exhale. Be here, stay here for a few more breaths and really anchor in this energy, allowing this energy to anchor in fully. That's right. Feel those feelings. Claim the greatest version of you. And when you're ready, opening your eyes slowly, carrying this new frequency back into your body, back into your days and into your life. Feel the shifts, feel the realignment taking place. And know that all you need to do is commit and take action to your own intuitive guidance. That's right. It's going to give you a moment to come back, and then I'm very much drawn to asking you to ponder on some questions that I'd like for you to journal. What I will do actually is I will make sure that straight after this call that we put the questions I'm about to ask you, we will put them into the comments on this thread. Question 1. What identity have I been unconsciously living from? What have those beliefs cost me? What version of me am I now ready to embody? And what does that version of me believe, say, feel, and create? And I have another. What is one bold action that I can take today that aligns me with the greatest version of me? I'd love for you to journal on those. I will pop them into the comments. But I'd like to leave you with this. The world isn't waiting for another version of who it is that you have been. The world is waiting for you, the you that you are destined to become. Why? Because that's what you signed up for. You didn't sign up to come here and dim your light. You signed up to be the greatest version of you because that's who we need you to be. You're here to contribute to this time of great awakening. So choose to be that version of you. You are not here to react to life, but you are here to reshape it, to use your magic, your purpose, to reshape it. Energy is not created or destroyed, but it is transformed. So you are here to transform energy. You are absolutely not here to play small. You are here to ignite a revolution within yourself and through your life, because you're here to change things up. So claim it now. Claim your power now. Step into your power now. Choose your next level identity. What is my next level identity? Who do I choose to be? What follows the I am is so extraordinarily powerful, so claim it. Claim it. Choose your next level identity, and then everything else will follow. I see you. I believe in you. We are all here to make an incredible contribution. So don't dim your light for anyone. Choose to become fully aligned with the version of you who manifests with ease. Become fully aligned with that version of you who walks tall and with a sense of purpose. Become that version of you who leads with love. Become the person that you were born to be. So let's make a commitment, all of us, myself included, that right here, right now, this moment is simply a launch pad into the next stage of our evolution, a launch pad into our new identity. Because growth is an ongoing thing. And for me personally, I choose to become a better person of myself, a better version of myself each and every day. So let's make that commitment together and use this moment as a launch pad. Okay, sending you all much, much love. I am going to leave it there tonight. I will just wait for a moment and see if anybody has any questions. I will wait. I know there's about a 20-second delay, so I will wait just for a moment. I will see if there are any questions. Otherwise, I will call it a night. I'm finally getting my house, or part of my house, repaired after the damage. So I've had tradesmen here all day today. They will be here tomorrow. It will be a few weeks before it's all done, as well as a project outside, which is lovely. Okay, all right. It appears there might not be any questions. I wish for you all the most amazing, amazing evening. Choose this moment to be the launch pad into the greatest version of you and into ever greater successes. You're very, very welcome, Tracy, Libby. Thank you, ladies. Much, much love to you all, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Oh, just a quick note, there will be some posts put up. So we have our next Awake in the Dream call in a fortnight. I can't remember the date. I think that's, on my birthday, the 7th of April, I will be live for Awake in the Dream. And then the following one, the 21st of April, which is Easter Monday, there will be no Awake in the Dream call. I will be in Queensland. So Easter Monday, there will be no Awake in the Dream call. I look forward to seeing you on the 7th of April. Much love, everybody. Good night.